Today, only one deep coal mine is still at work in Wales. Soon, it too will close its gates for the last time. The landscape here was shaped by mining at a time when the pits of Wales still powered the British Empire and employed over 250,000 men. But the living human memories of that era are fading fast. Now, 3 families have agreed to travel back in time to 1927 in a bid to understand how life really was for their forefathers. They'll be leaving the day-to-day comforts of the 21st century behind, as for an entire month they live and work as mining families.
It's quite scary, really, to think. We're going back into 1927. I'm not looking forward to how strict the teacher's going to be, or if they have a cane or not.
The water particularly, I think I'm going to find the hardest, and having to wash all the nappies. I'll have hands of a 90-year-old by the time I come out, I think.
Time itself in the coal house is going to be really slow and miserable, I think.
I can't help, just thinking it's going to be difficult.
This is going to be hell. There we are.
Home for each of the families for the next month will be a typical 1920s miner's cottage, 2 up, 2 down, with no bathroom, no kitchen and no running water. Conditions in 1927 were especially harsh, with mining communities suffering as wages were cut, hours increased and thousands of men laid off. Life for the Phillips family might prove toughest, with 6 children, including 2 still in nappies, to cram into the tiny living space. Joe and Annabelle Cartwright are academics from a well-off village near Cardiff.
Oh, lovely lard.
Porridge.
We must learn to love our lard.
You're going to need
Mummy,
Kinder.
there's something brown in here. Oh, please say that isn't poo.
Hey Gwen, there's a really good history book.
With only 2 children in the house, they even have room for a back parlour.
There's a piano.
Is there? Oh, fantastic.
Oh my God. Oh, people.
Next door, the Welsh-speaking Griffiths family from West Wales are getting to grips with the basics of 1927 life.
What toilets there?
Pot.
Down the gwely, fine.
Got to do little. Quick. There you go.
Music and all of that. Mae rhywun gyda piano yma. Okay, that's enough, Gwen. That's Gwen. Well, we're just looking round.
Carrie has a piano.
Yes. Well, perhaps just discuss with the neighbours how noisy that is.
Miners' cottages could be primitive even by the standards of the time. The heart of the home was the range, a solid fuel stove that hadn't changed much in a century. But at least lighting it is not proving too difficult for Richie Phillips, a coal merchant by trade. But for Cerdyn Griffiths, a lorry driver, the labour-intensive home life is already proving a challenge.
My first task now is I'm going to make the fire, because it's cold here and it feels damp. Oh, great.
The fire is going to be the main essential of the house, isn't it?
That's going to be a godsend, I think.
Cook, clean, wash, everything. Without this, we'd have nothing.
The families have each been given 10 shillings. Their weekly rent will be 9 shillings and 6pence, so they'll depend on the men's mining wages to buy food and other essentials.
Rent is due each week and will be collected at 6 o'clock promptly.
A young miner of the time could expect to earn 12 shillings a week, an experienced worker up to 60.
So I got 7 and 6 in silver, 2 more shillings, so I've got 9 and 6pence, that's the rent, and I've got an extra 5pence.
A family like us, we like to know to get our finances straight and know what we can live off.
With baby Gwenan in the household, though, it's milk, not money, that's the pressing matter for the Phillipses. After a cold supper, it's already time to turn in. In the dimly lit cottages, families would often be in bed soon after nightfall to save money and keep warm.
Good night.
Stop.
I can't hear. Oh my God, that's a wish.
Morning in the cottages begins early with a time-honoured ritual.
This is water, by the way, from our bodies.
Yours or somebody else's?
Well, it's water.
I had to do mine.
This is embarrassing, boys. I'll have to do this job every morning, I think. If I want number twos, they've got to come out here. Because I'm not going to carry number twos out. No way.
I don't like piggies.
As well as pigs, the families will have chickens and small allotments, but they'll have to buy most of their food from a cart that will visit every few days.
I'm happy, so happy, walking on air.
Many grocery stores in the South Wales mining valleys had gone bust after the 1926 general strike and the mining lockout that followed. As a result, some foods could be expensive and in short supply.
You got milk?
No, I just sold the last milk down the road.
How much are carrots, sir?
Carrots are 10 pence a bunch.
How much are the apples?
Apples, 2.5 pence a pound. Better have a pound of apple, well, yeah.
It's hard to decide how much to spend. So I've ended up buying quite a lot of fruit because the kids there isn't any bread, hardly, and there's no milk. That's the only thing that's worrying me. I haven't got any milk and I'm going to have to ration Gwen out.
We've now gone into our rent money. We only had 5 pence over the rent money.
Yeah.
And I've just spent 6
So we're
pence.
now basically in a position which I don't like being, which is we're in the red.
Just worried about Gwenny. It's the only thing that worries me is she hasn't got any milk because she doesn't really eat very much.
I mean, when you're desperate, I mean, it did cross my mind to just stick my hand and pick up a Swede, you know, when you're desperate. Because I could have done, because he was distracted. But what sort of example is that setting? Wish me luck.
Okay.
Ta-ra.
Maybe it doesn't
Bye,
run all the
Gwen.
way.
Today, the men must make the journey to the mine for the first time, a 4-mile walk over rough, open hillsides. Boys over the age of 13 and a half were allowed to work in the mines, and larger families like the Phillipses would have needed the extra money, so 14-year-old Ryan is joining the men. Mining was an uncertain living in 1927. Cheap foreign coal and the coming of oil-powered ships had forced down the price of British coal. The mine owners' response was lower pay, increased hours, and thousands of men laid off.
Morning. I'm Mr. Blanchford, I'm the pit boss. First things first, your shift started a little while ago. You accepted on the first day. If you're late in the future, you'll be turned around, you'll be sent back home. There'll be no work for people who can't turn up on time. You've got a lot of work to do. Let's go up and get ready, and let's get to work.
The men will be working underground in the Blaen Tulleri drift mine, a shallow mine like most in this area. Miners in the 1920s learned on the job, but our men will have to train at the surface before they're allowed underground. First up, an introduction to the tools of the trade from mine under-manager Cliff Jones.
This is the mandrel.
This is going to dig the coal out. That'll put food on your table and a roof over your head. And this is your other pan. This is the shovel. Starting you off on that one, that's a bit of a teaspoon. And then we'll gradually up to something like this. And if you're any good on this, we'll find you a bigger one. So try and pull that.
Work starts straight away sawing pit props, literally the life support of the mine as they hold the roof up. Back at the cottages, the women are getting a first taste of their daily round. They'll have to be cleaning, washing and cooking almost constantly if their households are going to function properly.
Everything seems quite hands-on and quite hard work. Walking back and forth to go and get water and things is quite difficult. But this takes quite a long time. Like, I've been doing this for like half an hour now, and it's going to take at least another 2 hours for it to dry.
The neighbours are giving us some milk, so I have to see if there's something they need of ours. We'll just replace the milk later.
Well, you know, that's what we're here for. There's only 3 little small community here, and we all got to pull together. Because if you don't do that, you know, everything is just going to go kabush, isn't it? You just have to pull together and make the most of what you've got.
We're wet through, so we're enjoying just getting the muscles moving, get a bit of blood circulating, and then we'll be ready for our evening meals and some love and tender care from our beloveds who have been having a nice loafing about sort of afternoon, no doubt.
The men will come home from the mine tired and hungry. They'll be burning far more calories than usual over the coming weeks. A hearty meal is going to be vital.
Gosh, dead as a dodo. Look at that.
Tonight we have on the menu lamb cooked in a rather greasy set of vegetables.
It just seems to take so long to get anything cooked. I thought by the time the boys come in, it'll all be ready, and I think we've got about another 2 hours of cooking to go.
Oh, can't believe that. Two little shorty sticks. Did you have to, you know, really work really hard?
It was bad enough to go there without starting work. Tools are heavy as well.
Were they?
I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 3 weeks.
It's been quite, yeah.
And I came home and there's no fire. Fire's gone out as well.
Well, I couldn't help it, Kerstin. I just really couldn't help it. I just could not get the fire to stay in. And supper's there. Cracker, eh?
What the hell is really that?
Mrs Griffiths, live here, please.
Mrs Griffiths?
Yes.
Mrs Griffiths.
Yes, hello.
How are you? I'm Mr Michael, the new school teacher. I understand...
Hi.
How are you?
I'm
I understand
fine.
You've got a room for rent. Is that correct?
It wasn't unusual for mining families to take in lodgers in the 1920s. Uncertain times meant that the extra shillings far outweighed the inconvenience of finding room in an already cramped house.
Come in.
Oh, there we are. Excuse me. It's not too bad.
It's, yes, well, it's dry.
It's warm. Lovely.
And it's cosy.
Yes.
Honestly, he's come to stay here with my cooking, my heating, my fire's going out all the time.
With a teacher newly arrived in town, the children will be attending school for the first time today.
I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I'm hoping the teacher won't be too strict.
And she wants to stay at home and play with the chickens.
No, the pigs.
The pigs.
Morning now. Enjoy your good work. Lovely day.
Who wants a baby?
In 1927, education was compulsory from the ages of 4 to 14.
Morning, children.
But a child could leave 6 months early if they had a job to go to. For many, it was a welcome escape.
Don't smile. You will refer to me either as Mr Michael or Sir. We need to keep order. It could be detention after school or during break time. Or it could be lines. And for really bad things, I've got this. That. It works.
Discipline may have been strict, but financial hardship meant that few miners' children were able to go on to secondary school.
You do not want to go down the mines.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Why? Daniel, you don't. Trust me.
When they throw in their coal, they really need to be hitting the spot. They're paid by coal lifted to the surface. If they throw it round underground, they're going to have to move that coal 3 times, and they'll only get paid for it once.
Oh. This is for real, and I've got to learn on the job, and I'll have to learn fast.
Life underground will be especially tough for Captain Griffiths, who suffers from claustrophobia.
Now, I don't know how I'm going to cope down the mines, because everything's going to be on top of you. It'll be dark as well, I think. And I really don't know how I'm going to cope.
Tired. Hard work.
At the school, all the lessons are given in English, a potential problem for the Griffiths children. Like thousands of families who migrated to find work in the mines, their first language is Welsh.
If I turn the board over. 6 threes.
12.
No, it's 4 threes. Stir the brain up. 7 twos.
14.
Excellent. 4 twos. Never mind your fingers, we'll chop them off.
Everything about this job is just physical, isn't it?
Different sizes, isn't it?
I'm absolutely knackered, and I've got to walk 3 miles home. I'm not really looking forward to it, and I'm just trying to have a bit of a relax before setting off.
Even above ground, the physical work at the mine is draining for men not used to it, and for the children, school isn't much better.
So we were very upset.
Like school.
They're all very miserable here and very unhappy. They're finding it very difficult because the first language is Welsh. But like this little one, you know, he doesn't understand a lot of English.
You can't do his timetables.
He can't do his timetables in English, and I think he's been a little bit hard on him, to be honest with you.
There's just 1 day left before the men go underground to start their jobs in earnest. The backbreaking nature of work at the coalface means that it will be important to be fighting fit.
Up early, trying to shave some kindling to get the fire going, and was very stupid and sliced the flesh off my knuckle on my index finger on the left hand. And the upshot is I'm off sick for a day, and I hope it won't be longer, but I don't think I'm going to be able to earn as much money now as if I'd have been completely fit as a fiddle.
A doctor has had to put 5 stitches in Joe's hand, but he still makes it to the mine in the afternoon. There was no sick pay and not much sympathy for injured colliers in 1927, so with households to support, men simply had to carry on working.
There we are. See the differences? Yeah.
Joe will lose half a day's pay for today. He turned in halfway through the shift. The other men had been here this morning. They'd done the work. He couldn't work because he'd hurt his finger. You don't work, you don't get paid. As a collier, he's useless.
Give me that mandrel a moment, please, John.
The real hardship for Joe will come the next day, though, if he's not allowed underground with the others. The money a miner took home in 1927 often depended on the amount of coal he produced, and for our best workers, there'll be good money to be made at the coalface.
You've had a fair chance using the tools on the surface, so shift today, taking you and you underground. Joe, with your hand as it is, you're staying on the surface.
Mr. Blandford, I need the money. Can I come down?
No. You can work on the surface.
I'll work just as well as the other guys.
No. You can work on the surface, you'll have half pay.
Right, sir. Been waiting, working, really hard. I think that's all I want to say.
For Richie and Cerdyn, though, today will be a test of strength and nerve. Blind Tulare is a safe mine, but Welsh pits in the 1920s could be very different. Dug into shifting ground and prone to build-ups of explosive gas, on average a man died in them every 2 days.
Shoveling it out for him to have a clean space to work on.
It was a tough life at the coalface. Dust, intense heat, and the wet sapped a man's energy.
Very tired. Absolutely shattered. Hell, we haven't even started yet.
My manager says I can't go underground again. It's his shout. And I feel a huge sense of injustice.
Yeah, doing well, enjoying it. Hard, like cliffside, cramped conditions, not much room to swing the shovel, but yeah, it's going all right.
All right, boys, hurry up. It's getting cold filled out.
I'm sweating like a pig here. It's all sweat.
You haven't done nothing to sweat about. Come on.
An experienced miner in the 1920s could have turned out 2 tons of coal in a day. Our men will struggle to get anywhere near this.
You're halfway through your first drum. You've got 4 to fill for the end of the shift.
Right. We got him going now. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at there, eh?
Daylight. Oh. The sun is shining, look. That's taken a lot out of me, yeah. As you get told what to expect, you know, how much room you're going to have, and it doesn't really hit you until you're there.
So hopefully tonight now I'll have a nice hot meal before I start coming back up here again tomorrow.
The reward for being able to hack it at the coalface is an increased wage for those who were able to do the work.
Right, Ben?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Fine.
How do you find the face?
All right, ones are down there.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
Right. I'll get up nice and early in the morning, all of it for work. Right, we got your pays for today. That's for you and the boy.
Thank you.
That's for you.
Thank you very much.
And there's your 2 days pay.
Yeah.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
see you in the morning nice and early.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Good.
The men are happy with their wages, with one exception.
Oh, I don't want to be cheeky or anything. Please don't take this wrong. It's just there's 10 shillings here.
Yeah.
And I did half a day yesterday. Did I get anything for yesterday?
2 days half pay there, Joe. 2 days half days at 5 shillings.
Why am I on half? So I'm on 5 shillings a day.
For yesterday and today, yes.
Fair enough then.
It's the end of our family's first week in 1927 and time for Deborah Griffiths' 40th birthday party.
Thank you, Jay. Oh, that is so lovely. Overwhelmed. Just didn't realise how much the people, the neighbours, have gone to so much trouble. I got a tear in my eye now because, to be honest with you, I wouldn't wish for anything else to be anywhere else but here at the moment. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
So far, the women have managed to keep the houses in order and the men have coped with life at the coalface. But for everybody, the journey is just beginning.
You make some nice home brew wine. Makes a change from water and tea, doesn't
yes,
it?
Yeah.
More from the Coal House next Saturday at 6:05. Coming up next tonight, another chance to get under the skin of Poland with Michael Palin.